Little girl gave her ice cream to a stray dog. The next day, she was followed to school. Tone, innocent act. Unexpected guardian. Kindness attracts miracles. Twist. The dog saves her during a car accident and becomes the school's official mascot. Theme, innocence. Protection, unexpected loyalty. It was one of those hot summer afternoons when the sun felt like it was sitting right on top of you. I could hear the buzz of cicadas in the trees and the distant laughter of kids playing down the street. My little sister Lily and I were walking home from the corner store, holding our melting ice cream cones with sticky fingers. I was savoring every bite, but Lily, she wasn't eating hers the way I would have expected. She was watching something. No, someone. I turned to see what she was looking at. It was a dog, thin and scruffy, with sad eyes that made my heart tug. It wasn't a dog anyone would want to keep as a pet, especially not with its ragged fur and dirt-streaked coat. But there was something about it, something that made it hard to look away. "Lily, what are you doing?" I asked, half expecting her to run toward it like she always did with every stray animal she saw. But she didn't. She just stood there, holding her ice cream in front of her, as if offering it to the dog. I felt a little embarrassed. "Lily, that dog looks like it's been through a lot. You can't just—" But Lily wasn't listening. She slowly crouched down, gently extending the cone toward the dog. The dog sniffed the air, its tail wagging weakly, and then, with a soft woof, it stepped forward and licked the ice cream from Lily's hand. She smiled, one of those big, bright smiles that seemed to light up everything around her. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to tell her to be careful, that the dog might bite her or have something wrong with it, but I couldn't. There was something so innocent in the way she trusted the dog. Something pure, something I didn't even have words for. After a few moments, the dog finished the ice cream, looking up at Lily as if asking for more. But she stood up and patted its head. "That's enough for now, you need to get some rest and food. I'll be back tomorrow, okay?" To my surprise, the dog didn't move away. It simply sat down on the curb, watching her as she stood up and started walking back home. I glanced at Lily, who was already walking ahead, not noticing the dog following her, just a few steps behind. "Lily, wait. The dog's following you," I called out. She turned, saw the dog, and giggled. "I think he likes me," she said, as if it was the most natural thing in the world. At first I thought the dog would wander off after a little while, but no, it didn't. It followed us all the way home. The next morning, when Lily woke up, she rushed to the window, her eyes scanning the street below. I could hear her soft gasp when she saw the dog sitting on the curb again, staring up at our house, as if it were waiting for something, waiting for her. "Lily, no," I called, trying to stop her before she could run out. "It's just a stray dog. It might not be safe. We don't know anything about it." But Lily wasn't listening. She grabbed her breakfast, slurped down the last bit of her orange juice, and dashed outside, before I could stop her. I could only watch helplessly as she knelt down in front of the dog. The dog wagged its tail, and Lily smiled, a little unsure but still so trusting. "Are you waiting for me?" she asked gently, as if the dog could answer, and to my surprise, it responded with a soft whine, nudging her hand. "I guess you are," Lily said, laughing. "Well, I'm going to school today. I'll be back in a few hours, okay?" I watched from the window, as the dog stood up, following her as she walked down the sidewalk. It was unbelievable. The dog had decided that Lily was its person now, and Lily, with her kind heart, had accepted it. No questions asked. That day at school, I couldn't focus. Every time I glanced out the window, I kept wondering if Lily was okay with the dog following her. I didn't want to admit it, but part of me felt jealous. The dog was like a silent guardian to her, and I was just standing on the sidelines, unsure of what was happening. But when the school bell rang, and we all headed outside, I spotted Lily walking toward the gates, the dog right beside her. She turned back and waved at the dog, and it paused for a moment before trotting after her again. There was no doubt anymore, the dog wasn't just a stray, it was her companion now. The next few days followed the same pattern. The dog now, the unofficial member of our little neighborhood, walked with Lily to school every day. It didn't seem to matter if it rained or if the sun was blistering hot, the dog was there. And every time Lily went to school, it waited for her at the gates, sitting quietly until she came back out. One afternoon, as I was walking home from a friend's house, I saw the dog again, but this time something was different. It was standing in the middle of the road, its head turned to watch something down the street. I quickened my pace, not thinking too much about it, but then I heard it, a loud screeching sound of tires, followed by a honk. My heart stopped. I saw the car coming, speeding too fast down the road. The driver didn't seem to see the dog in the way, and then without warning, the dog dashed into the road, jumping in front of Lily, just as the car came speeding toward them. I screamed, but everything seemed to happen in slow motion. The car was almost upon them. But then the dog lunged forward, pushing Lily out of the way, just in time. The car screeched to a halt, the tires skidding and smoking. Lily landed hard on the ground, but the dog was there, its body pressed against hers. It had saved her. "Lily!" I shouted, running toward her. The dog stood up shakily, panting, and I could see the scratches on its side, the way it limped slightly. But it was still standing strong, protecting her. Lily was crying, but not because of her fall. "He saved me," she whispered, tears streaming down her face as she hugged the dog. "He saved me." The driver of the car, a middle-aged man, stepped out of his car, his face pale. "I didn't see it," he stammered, clearly shaken. "Is everyone okay?" I nodded, unable to speak for a moment. I couldn't even take my eyes off the dog, whose tail was still wagging, despite its injuries. "He's a hero," I managed to say. The man looked down at the dog, his face full of guilt. "I'm so sorry," he said again, but we were already focused on something else. Lily gently touched the dog's head. "Are you okay?" she asked softly. The dog whimpered, as if saying that it was, but it didn't move much beyond that. It was exhausted, but it wasn't about to leave. We carefully led the dog to the sidewalk, and as Lily hugged it close, I felt something shift. This wasn't just a stray dog anymore. This was her protector, her guardian, and no matter what happened, I knew that we couldn't just let it go. It had saved her life. It deserved more than to be left to wander the streets again. The next morning, after the dog had been checked by a local vet and given a clean bill of health, minus a few bruises, the decision was clear. The dog was staying with us. The shelter even helped us put up flyers, just in case it had an owner, but after a week, no one had come forward. It was ours now, and we named it Hero, after what it had done for Lily. It became the mascot of our school, unofficially, of course. Every day, Hero would walk Lily to school and wait by the gates, tail wagging like it was the happiest dog in the world. The kids started noticing, and before long, they would stop to pet Hero, telling him how great he was. Some kids even brought treats, and the teachers seemed to smile whenever they saw him too. Lily was never without Hero, and I noticed something strange happening. Hero wasn't just protecting her. He had a way of bringing people together. He was the bridge between groups of kids who had never spoken to each other, the calm presence during recess, when fights started, and the reason so many people, kids and adults alike, would stop to talk or smile as they passed by. One day, when Hero was sitting at the school gates, I overheard a group of students whispering to each other. "Do you think Hero's really a miracle dog?" one of them asked. "I think so," another answered. "I think he was meant to be with Lily." And just like that, I realized that Hero wasn't just a dog. He was a symbol of kindness, of protection, and of the unexpected miracles that sometimes come when you least expect them. He had been astray, with no home, and no one to care for him, and then, through one small act of kindness, from a little girl who didn't hesitate to share her ice cream, he found his way into our lives. And we found that sometimes, the smallest acts can lead to the greatest things. Months passed, and Hero continued to be Lily's loyal companion. He stayed with us through thick and thin, a quiet presence of comfort and protection. But more than that, he brought a sense of wonder to our little corner of the world. People talked about the dog who had saved a life, and more importantly, they talked about kindness. Hero had shown everyone that kindness, no matter how small or simple, could lead to something extraordinary. One winter morning, after the first snow had fallen, I looked outside to see Lily, bundled up in her coat, standing with Hero by the school gates. He was sitting proudly, watching over her, as always. She patted his head, her face glowing with joy. He's the best thing that ever happened to me, Lily said softly, looking at me. I smiled. I think he saved all of us, not just you. And in that moment, I realized that Hero's act of kindness had changed us all, not just Lily. It had reminded us of the simple, beautiful things that we often overlook, how one act of love, no matter how small, can create ripples that change lives. As we all went back inside, I watched Lily and Hero, side by side, and I knew, without a doubt, that this little stray dog had found his place in our world, and we had found something extraordinary in return.